Beleza, retirei todas as seções do click the link e dos anúncios do CIA. Aqui está a versão limpa, só com a narrativa espiritual, plus Comment 77, Chosen Ones, no lugar das CTAs. It is all coming together for you. Just wait. If your heart feels tired, and your spirit feels like it has been waiting for too long, then stay here for a moment because something deeply important is unfolding around you. And missing this could mean overlooking a quiet blessing that has already begun to move toward your life in ways you cannot yet fully see or understand. There is a gentle hand guiding every broken piece, slowly placing it back together with care. And even in the silence, something sacred is being prepared just for you. Comment 77. Chosen Ones. There are days when everything feels scattered, when nothing seems to make sense, and when the weight of waiting presses heavily on your chest. But even in those moments, there is a divine rhythm moving quietly beneath the surface of your life. It may not feel fast and it may not look clear, but every delay has been shaping something stronger inside you, something deeper than what you once asked for. The story of your life is not forgotten, and it is not abandoned because God does not begin something only to leave it unfinished in confusion or pain. You may have cried in silence, wondering if your prayers were heard, and you may have walked through days that felt empty, as though nothing was changing at all. Yet there has always been movement behind what your eyes could see. Every tear that fell carried meaning, and every moment of waiting was building a foundation that could hold the blessing that is coming toward you. Nothing has been wasted, and nothing has been overlooked. Even when it felt like everything was slipping away, take a gentle moment now. And if your heart feels even a small spark of hope rising inside, then show your support by liking this video, because that simple action carries a quiet agreement with the goodness that is already on its way into your life. There is a reason why certain doors did not open when you wanted them to, and there is a reason why some paths suddenly ended without warning, because what is coming together now requires a different direction, a deeper strength, and a more prepared heart than before. God has been protecting you from what could have broken you further. Even when it felt like you were being denied something you truly needed. Protection does not always feel comforting at first, but it always leads to something greater than what you lost. There are connections being aligned, moments being arranged, and unseen forces gently shifting situations in your favor. Even when you feel like nothing is happening at all, the silence is not empty because it is full of preparation. And the stillness is not meaningless because it carries purpose that will soon become clear in ways that will soften your heart and bring peace to your spirit. You are not behind, and you are not forgotten because everything is moving at the exact time it needs to move. Comment 77. Chosen Ones. There have been times when you questioned your worth, when you wondered if you were truly seen, and when you felt like giving up because the journey felt too long and too uncertain. But those very moments were shaping a stronger version of you, one that could receive what is coming without fear or doubt. Growth often feels uncomfortable, and waiting often feels painful. But both are necessary when something meaningful is being prepared. Your story is not defined by the delays you faced, and it is not limited by the disappointments you experienced, because what is coming together now is not small or temporary, but something lasting and deeply meaningful. There is a quiet restoration happening within you, one that is healing wounds you thought would never fully close, and one that is preparing your heart to receive joy in a way that feels safe and steady. Every step you have taken, even the uncertain ones, has been guiding you closer to this moment, and every challenge you faced has been strengthening you for what lies ahead. Nothing has been random, and nothing has been without purpose. Because God sees the full picture, while you only see small parts of the journey. Trust has been growing inside you even when fear tried to take its place. And that trust is what will carry you into the next chapter of your life. There is a quiet beauty in how everything is coming together, not all at once, but piece by piece, gently and steadily, until one day you will look back and realize that every moment had meaning, every delay had purpose, and every tear carried a hidden blessing. The waiting has not been empty, and the silence has not been without direction, because even now something is unfolding that will bring clarity, peace, and a sense of completion that your heart has been longing for. You begin to notice small changes, not in grand events, but in the way your thoughts feel lighter, in the way your worries no longer hold the same weight, and in the way peace slowly replaces the restlessness that once filled your days and nights. This is not by accident, because when God begins to bring things together, He first prepares your heart to receive them with clarity and calmness instead of fear or confusion. The transformation begins quietly within long before it becomes visible around you. There were moments when you felt like you were standing still while everything else moved forward, when it seemed like others were finding their answers while you were left searching for meaning. But even in those moments, your path was being carefully shaped in ways that could not be rushed or replaced. What is meant for you carries a depth that requires patience, and what is being prepared for you carries a purpose that needs time to unfold fully and beautifully. Comment 77. Chosen ones. The days that felt uncertain were not empty days, and the nights that felt heavy were not without purpose, because every single moment was contributing to a larger picture that is now slowly coming into view. You may not see the full image yet, but you are beginning to sense that something is aligning, something is shifting, and something is finally making sense in a way it never did before. This is how divine timing reveals itself, not all at once, but in gentle layers that bring understanding step by step. There is also a healing that has been taking place within you, one that you may not have fully noticed because it did not come with dramatic change, but with quiet restoration that touched the deepest parts of your heart. Old wounds that once felt overwhelming have started to lose their hold, and past disappointments no longer carry the same sharpness they once did. This healing is part of the preparation, because what is coming requires a heart that is no longer burdened by what has already passed. You are being led into a place where your peace matters more than your past pain, where your faith feels stronger than your fear, and where your hope begins to rise again even after everything you have experienced. This journey has not been about loss, even though it felt that way at times, but about making space for something that truly belongs in your life without struggle or confusion. There are people, opportunities, and moments that are slowly moving closer to you, even now, even in ways that you cannot yet recognize, and they are being aligned with such care that when they finally appear, they will feel natural and right, as if they have always been a part of your story. Nothing will feel forced and nothing will feel uncertain, because what is meant for you will come with a sense of peace that cannot be mistaken. Comment 77. Chosen ones. You are not stepping into something temporary or fragile, but into something steady and meaningful, something that will not easily fade or break because it has been built with patience and guided with love. Every lesson you have learned, every moment you have endured, and every step you have taken has been leading you here to a place where things begin to feel whole again. Even now, as you continue forward, there is a gentle assurance surrounding you, reminding you that you do not need to rush, you do not need to force, and you do not need to fear what lies ahead. Everything that is meant to find you will arrive at the right time, and everything that is meant to stay will remain without struggle. There is a quiet confidence growing within you, one that does not need loud proof, because it is rooted in trust that has been built over time. The beauty of what is coming together in your life is not just in the outcome, but in the way it has been unfolding with such care, even when you did not understand it. You are being guided into something that reflects the strength you have gained, the patience you have learned, and the faith you have held on to even in your hardest moments. There is no need to look back with regret, because nothing has been wasted. And there is no need to feel anxious about what is ahead, because it is already being prepared with love and purpose. You are moving into a season where things will begin to make sense, where clarity will replace confusion, and where peace will settle into your life in a way that feels lasting and true. In the past, you may have tried to hold everything together by your own effort, trying to understand every delay and every unexpected turn. But now there is a quiet release happening within you. A surrender that does not feel like giving up, but like letting go of the weight that was never meant for you to carry. This release is not weakness, but a form of trust, a gentle decision to allow God to move in ways that are greater than your own understanding. Comment 77. chosen ones. There is something deeply beautiful about this stage of your journey because it is where your faith begins to feel real and steady, not based on what you see, but based on what you feel in your spirit. You begin to understand that not everything needs to be clear in order for it to be right, and not everything needs to happen quickly in order for it to be meaningful. The waiting no longer feels like a burden, but like a space where something important is growing quietly within you. You may notice that your reactions have changed, that things which once caused you worry or fear no longer hold the same power over your thoughts. And this is a sign that healing has truly taken root in your heart. You are no longer the same person who once struggled to hold on to hope, because you have been shaped by every experience, strengthened by every challenge, and gently guided into a deeper understanding of trust and patience. There are moments ahead that will surprise you with their simplicity and their beauty, moments where things will fall into place so naturally that you will realize how carefully everything has been arranged. These moments will not feel forced or uncertain, but calm and clear, as if they were always meant to happen exactly the way they do. This is how God brings things together, not with chaos, but with quiet order that unfolds gently over time. Comment 77. Chosen ones. There is also a growing sense of peace that begins to surround your life, one that does not depend on perfect circumstances, but exists even in the middle of uncertainty. This peace is a sign that your heart is being aligned with something greater, something that is not easily shaken by temporary struggles or passing doubts. It is a peace that stays with you, even when answers are still forming and even when the full picture is not yet visible. You are being prepared to receive something that matches the depth of your journey, something that reflects the patience you have shown and the faith you have held on to even when it was difficult. This is not a small or fleeting moment, but a meaningful step into a season where things begin to feel right again, where your path feels steady and where your heart feels at ease with what is unfolding. There is no need to rush forward or to look back with regret, because you are exactly where you need to be in this moment. Every step you take now is guided with care, and every moment you experience carries purpose. Even if it feels simple or quiet, nothing is being overlooked, and nothing is being left unfinished. Because God completes what He begins with love and intention. The beauty of this journey is not only in what you will receive, but in who you have become along the way. Someone stronger, calmer, and more grounded in faith than ever before. You are no longer searching for signs in fear, but recognizing them with peace, understanding that everything is moving in alignment with a plan that has always included you. Even now, as you continue forward, there is a gentle unfolding happening around you, one that will soon become clearer with each passing day. You will begin to see connections that once seemed unrelated, and you will begin to understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. This clarity will not overwhelm you, but comfort you, bringing a sense of completion to the questions that once filled your heart. You begin to notice how your perspective has changed, how situations that once felt confusing now carry a sense of understanding, and how the things you once struggled to accept are now seen with a softer and more peaceful heart. This is not by chance, because when God brings things together, He also brings clarity that allows you to see your journey with new eyes, free from the weight of past confusion and fear. Comment 77. Chosen ones. There was a time when you may have tried to control every outcome, hoping to create certainty in a world that often felt unpredictable. But now, there is a quiet confidence growing within you, one that does not need to control every detail in order to feel secure. This confidence comes from knowing that you are not alone in this journey, and that every step is being guided with care. Even when you cannot fully understand the direction you are moving in, there are moments ahead that will feel like gentle confirmations, small yet powerful signs that everything is aligning exactly as it should. And these moments will bring a sense of peace that goes beyond explanation. You will begin to recognize that nothing was ever random, and that every delay, every pause, and every unexpected turn carried a deeper purpose that is now becoming clear. Comment 77. Chosen ones. There is also a quiet restoration happening in areas of your life that once felt broken or incomplete. A healing that goes beyond what you can see, touching the deepest parts of your heart and bringing a sense of wholeness that you may not have thought possible before. This restoration is not rushed and it does not force itself into your life, but it arrives gently, allowing you to receive it with peace and gratitude. You are stepping into a season where things will begin to feel lighter, where the burdens you once carried will no longer feel as heavy, and where the path ahead will feel more clear and steady. This does not mean that everything will be perfect, but it does mean that you will carry a sense of calm strength that allows you to move forward without fear or doubt. There is a quiet beauty in how everything is being arranged for you, a careful alignment of moments, people, and opportunities that will come together in a way that feels natural and right. You will not need to force anything or struggle to hold things together, because what is meant for you will remain with ease and without confusion. The journey you have walked has not been easy, and there have been times when you felt like giving up. But even in those moments, you were being strengthened in ways that you did not fully realize. Every challenge has shaped you. Every delay has prepared you. And every moment of waiting has brought you closer to what is now unfolding in your life. There is no need to question your path anymore, because you are being guided into something that reflects the strength and patience you have developed over time. You are no longer the same person who once felt lost and uncertain, because you have grown into someone who carries quiet confidence and steady faith. As you continue forward, you will begin to see how everything connects, how every experience fits into a larger picture that is now coming together with clarity and purpose. This understanding will not feel overwhelming but comforting, allowing you to trust even more deeply in the path that is unfolding before you. You begin to sense that the struggle you once felt so strongly is slowly fading, not all at once, but in soft layers that lift away from your spirit, leaving behind a feeling of calm, strength, and quiet trust. This is the work of something deeper than what you can see, something that has been shaping your journey with patience and care, guiding you toward a place where you can finally feel at ease within yourself and your path. Comment 77. Chosen ones. There were times when you felt like nothing was changing, when the waiting felt endless and the silence felt heavy. But now there is a subtle shift taking place, one that brings a new sense of understanding to everything you have experienced. You begin to realize that those moments were never empty, and that even the quietest seasons were filled with purpose that is only now becoming clear to you. There is a gentle alignment happening within your life, one that does not demand attention or create noise, but quietly arranges everything in a way that feels natural and right. This alignment is not forced, and it does not rush, but moves with a steady rhythm that brings each piece into place at the exact moment it is needed. You may not always see how it is happening, but you can feel it in the way your heart responds with calmness instead of confusion. Comment 77. Chosen ones. There is also a deep sense of release that begins to take hold within you, a letting go of the need to understand every detail, and a gentle acceptance of the path as it unfolds. This release is not about giving up control out of fear, but about trusting that what is guiding your life knows exactly where you are meant to go. It is a peaceful surrender that allows you to move forward without the weight of doubt or worry holding you back. You are stepping into a space where your faith feels steady and grounded, where your hope no longer feels fragile, and where your heart begins to rest in the certainty that everything is being taken care of in ways that you may not yet fully see. This is not something that happens suddenly, but something that grows within you over time, becoming stronger with each step you take. There are moments ahead that will bring a quiet joy into your life, moments that may seem simple on the surface, but will carry a deep sense of meaning and fulfillment within them. These moments will remind you that the journey you have walked has led you exactly where you need to be, and that nothing you have experienced has been without purpose. You will begin to notice how certain things come together effortlessly, how situations that once felt complicated now unfold with ease, and how the path ahead begins to feel more clear and steady than before. This is the result of everything that has been aligning behind the scenes, slowly and carefully, bringing you into a place where things finally begin to make sense. There is a quiet confidence growing within you, one that does not need to prove itself or seek validation, but simply exists as a steady presence that carries you forward. This confidence is rooted in trust, built through every challenge you have faced and every moment you have chosen to keep going, even when it was difficult. You are no longer the person who once felt unsure of every step, because you have been shaped by your journey into someone who can walk forward with calm assurance and quiet strength. Your path may still hold unknowns, but it no longer feels overwhelming because you have learned to trust the process in a deeper and more meaningful way. As everything continues to come together, you will find that your life begins to feel more balanced, more peaceful, and more aligned with who you truly are. This is not the result of chance, but the result of a careful and loving process that has been guiding you all along. Even when you could not see it clearly, you begin to feel that the pressure you once carried is no longer yours to hold because something greater has taken its place, something steady and loving that is guiding your steps without force or confusion. This shift is not loud or dramatic, but it is deeply real, touching every part of your life in a way that brings peace instead of struggle. You may not be able to explain it fully, but you can feel it in the way your heart responds with calmness, even when things around you are still forming. Comment 77. Chosen ones. There were moments in your past where you felt like you were walking through a storm without shelter, where every step felt uncertain and every day carried a weight that seemed too heavy to bear. But even in those moments, you were never alone. God was there in the quiet, guiding you through paths you could not see, protecting you from what could have caused deeper harm, and preparing you for a time when everything would begin to feel different. Now you are stepping into that time, not all at once but gradually with each passing day, bringing a new sense of peace and understanding. You begin to see how certain events that once felt painful were actually leading you away from what was not meant for you, and towards something that aligns more deeply with your purpose and your heart. This realization does not bring regret, but a quiet gratitude for the journey that has shaped you. Comment 77. Chosen ones. There is also a gentle restoration taking place within your spirit, one that heals not only what was broken, but also strengthens what remains. You are not returning to who you once were, but becoming someone new, someone who carries wisdom, patience, and a deeper sense of trust in the path ahead. This transformation is not rushed, and it does not demand perfection, but grows naturally as you continue to walk forward with faith. You may notice that your thoughts have become softer, your reactions calmer, and your outlook more hopeful even in situations that once would have caused you worry or fear. This is a sign that something within you has shifted in a meaningful way, allowing you to move through life with a sense of peace that is not easily shaken. You are no longer defined by the challenges you faced, but strengthened by them. There are blessings that are quietly approaching your life, not with noise or sudden change, but with a gentle presence that feels right and natural. These blessings will not overwhelm you, but will fit into your life in a way that feels balanced and steady, bringing joy without confusion and peace without doubt. You will recognize them not by their size, but by the calm certainty they bring into your heart. You are being led into a season where things will begin to feel complete, where the questions that once filled your mind will be replaced with understanding, and where the waiting you endured will be seen as a necessary part of a much greater plan. This is not the end of your journey, but a beautiful turning point where everything begins to align in a way that feels whole and meaningful. There is no need to rush ahead or to look back with worry, because you are exactly where you need to be in this moment. Every step you take is supported, every decision you make is guided, and every moment you experience carries purpose that will continue to unfold in time. You are not walking alone even when it feels quiet, because there is a constant presence surrounding you with care and love. As you continue forward, you will begin to see how everything connects, how every part of your journey fits together in a way that makes sense, and how every experience has brought you closer to this place of peace and understanding. This clarity will not come all at once, but in gentle moments that build upon each other, creating a sense of completeness that your heart has been longing for. You may begin to notice how certain moments feel more meaningful than before, how small experiences carry a deeper sense of peace, and how your heart responds with a quiet joy that does not depend on perfect circumstances. This is a sign that something within you has aligned with something greater, something that is gently guiding your life into a place where everything begins to feel whole again. Comment 77. Chosen ones. There were times when you felt like your efforts were unnoticed, when your patience felt unseen, and when your faith felt like it was being tested beyond what you could handle. But even in those moments, every step you took was being recorded with care. Nothing was overlooked and nothing was forgotten, because God sees beyond what is visible and understands the depth of your journey in ways that no one else can. Now you are stepping into a space where your efforts begin to bear fruit. Not all at once, but in gentle ways that bring a sense of fulfillment and peace. You will begin to see how your patience has created something strong within you, something that allows you to receive what is coming without fear or doubt. This is not a reward that arrives suddenly, but a blessing that unfolds naturally as part of your journey. Comment 77. Chosen ones. There is also a growing awareness within you. A quiet understanding that everything has been leading you to this moment, even when it did not feel that way at the time. You begin to see how the pieces of your life connect, how each experience has contributed to something greater, and how nothing has been without purpose. This awareness brings a sense of peace that replaces the confusion you once felt. You are no longer searching for answers with urgency, because your heart has learned to rest in trust, allowing things to reveal themselves at the right time. This shift does not make your journey less meaningful, but more beautiful, because it allows you to experience each moment with a sense of calm and appreciation. There are doors that will begin to open for you, not because you forced them, but because they were meant to open at this exact time. These doors will not bring confusion or uncertainty, but clarity and peace, guiding you into spaces that feel right and aligned with who you have become. You will recognize them not by their appearance, but by the feeling they bring into your heart. You are being led into something that reflects your growth, your patience, and your faith, something that fits your life in a way that nothing else ever has. This is not a temporary moment, but a lasting shift that will continue to unfold in ways that bring you closer to a sense of fulfillment and purpose. There is a gentle joy beginning to rise within you, one that does not need loud celebration, but quietly fills your heart with warmth and contentment. This joy is not based on what you have gained, but on what you have become. Someone who has learned to trust, to wait, and to believe even in the absence of clear answers. As everything continues to come together, you will find that your life begins to feel more balanced, more peaceful, and more aligned with the path that has been set before you. This alignment is not something you created on your own, but something that has been carefully guided step by step with love and intention. You are not at the end of your journey, but at a place where everything begins to make sense in a deeper and more meaningful way.